Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to Second Form Strength. You're watching Mike D. I'm not gonna keep going with the rap. That was a good enough rhyme. Welcome. My name's Mike. This is Second Form Strength. If this is your first time watching one of these videos, my name's Mike. 5 months ago, I was fat. I hated where I was at. I was cleaning toilets for a living. And now I'm not fat. I'm in shape. I'm aligned. I've found what my purpose is, or at least what I think it is. I'm studying to be a personal trainer. I've lost, as I said, about 21 kilos in the last 4.5 months. Gone from about 28% down to about 11% body fat, although at the moment I'm a little heavier, but I'll go into that in this video. But yeah, overall I've dropped a ton of weight, and now I'm making videos to help like-minded guys that want to get themselves in shape, but maybe just don't know the right ways to do it, or just need some videos. You just need to see someone else doing it to give you the motivation to do it yourself. So that's what I'm here for. I'm working things out as I go, and I'm documenting this all for you guys. So apologies about the hair. I just had a shower. It might be fucked up. It is what it is. But I wanted to talk today about the concept of good days and bad days, and the fact that obviously you're going to have them, especially if you're on, well, regardless of whether you're on a fat loss journey or what, a body transformation journey, spiritual journey, anything. You're going to have moments where you're going to have days where you just don't want to do shit, where you feel like, what's the point of even, and by the way, if you're wondering why my knuckles are like this, I do kind of like boxing, hitting the bag, and I stupidly was hitting it while not wearing gloves, so that's what that's from. It's, yeah. I haven't been busting car windows and stealing radios out of people's cars or anything. That's oddly specific, but no. If you follow my Instagram on Second Form Strength, you can see that I post some videos of me hitting the bag, and yeah, I haven't really been wearing hand wraps, so. But anyway, you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, okay? Especially if you're on a journey of self-discovery, especially if you're on a journey of getting yourself out of wherever you're at currently. Like me, currently, I'll admit the last few days, they haven't been the best. It's been a bit of a haze, man. It's been hard for me to do the things I know I need to do. I have been feeling myself getting back into old habits. Not even old habits in terms of when I was like fat 5 months ago, but habits from like a month or 2 months ago. See, that's the thing with constantly progressing as a person. Your standards just raise. So when you look back at yourself even a month ago, and by other people's standards, they might look at you and go, "You look great. Like everything you're doing is great. I wish I had the motivation or discipline to do that." But you look at yourself from a month ago and you go, "God, what was I doing? I wasn't disciplined enough." If you can do that, if you can consistently have that thought in your head, don't look at that as a bad thing. That's a great thing. That shows that your standards are raising. And it actually talks into, like, it goes into what I'm talking about with the good days and bad days. As your standards raise, you might have stretches where you have more perceived bad days than good days, in terms of, I won't say bad days, I'll say you're going to have more stressful days, right? Like, in the grand scheme of things, like what you might perceive as stress now, let's say you're starting off your fat loss journey. Let's use an analogy. Like, let's say you start off wanting to lose weight, and you are 110 kilos, and you start in the gym. When you first start doing a workout, the stress that puts on your body, the first beginning workout, is going to be immense because you've never worked out before. But a month later, if you do that exact same workout, the stress on your body is going to be less, right? Because your body's going to adapt to it. So you're going to need to put more stress on your body. So let's say another month from that point, you're doing a workout that's 2 times as stressful, but you're only 1.5 times the stress. As in, you're constantly increasing your stress as you upgrade as a person. Realistically, I mean, it's the same way you grow in the gym. You constantly increase the load. The same way you grow in the gym is the same way you grow in life. And in the same sense that you have good days and bad days in life, or good days and bad days in the gym, you have good days and bad days in life. But, if there's anything I've kind of learnt from staying consistent with my workout routine and my daily disciplines, especially during that 4-month period, really it was about 4.5, 5-month period of doing my cut, was that even on the bad days, I still showed up. Even on the bad days at the gym, I still progressed. They weren't bad days because I didn't progress. I thought they were bad days because I wasn't seeing the progression. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the times we get in our own way. We have bad days because we feel stuck. Like we're not, like, for instance, you might be on a cut now. You might be a month in and you might be like, man, for the last month, I've been on point with my calories. I haven't been going over. I've been hitting my macros. I've been hitting my protein targets. I've been hitting my daily cardio. I've been doing the workouts and progressively overloading my workouts. But my body isn't changing. Like, it doesn't look that much different. And that might lead to you having a bad day where you wake up, maybe you catch yourself in the mirror shirtless and you're like, I look okay, but then you think of all the stuff you've done over the 30 days and you're like, well, do I have to keep doing this to maintain where I'm at? And it's like, what you're not seeing is the progress you've already made. You're only seeing what's in the moment. You're not and you're only looking at one metric, the body. Ideally, you're tracking your workouts if you're on a fat loss journey. And if you're not, I highly recommend start tracking your fucking workouts. Like, you need data. And part of the reason is when things like this happen. When you have a bad day, when you might see yourself and your self worth might feel a little low. You might not be feeling the best about yourself. If you don't have any data from your workouts, if you can't look back a month and go, wow, I might not look different body-wise, but I started off on incline chest press doing 22 kilos for 3 sets of 10. And now I'm doing 26 kilos for 3 sets of 10, or whatever it might be. That's progress. And if you could actually see that, it makes a world of difference, because you need that data when you don't see the differences in the mirror. Because the first month or so, you're probably not going to see that much of a difference. Really, the main differences in the mirror are going to come 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months down the line to a year, depending on how much fat you have to lose. But, a lot of people, and you've heard it before, they underestimate how much fat they actually have to lose, and they underestimate how long it's going to take. And a lot of the times with having good days and bad days, we have to allow ourselves to have them, but we can't let them turn into bad weeks. And, of course you'd want to have a good week too, but it's very rare that you ever have a good week. There's always usually something that happens that you could perceive as bad. I mean, of course, perception is reality, and you could choose to perceive everything as good and never have any bad. But I'm speaking objectively here. Bad weeks are where shit usually falls apart. Bad days are going to happen. You're not going to be able to avoid them. And if you think that you're going to just be able to have a perfect streak, and if you think that even once you get to the point where you've transformed your body, that you don't need to still have discipline, you're kidding yourself. I still need to. Like, I'll be honest, the past 2 days, 3 days really, I've eaten over my calories. Not by heaps, and it has been unhealthy food, because I've got that level of discipline at least. My standards are at that level. But even still, for myself, even with the extra exercise and cardio I've been doing, I still have a 6-pack. I still look good objectively to most people. But for what my goals are for my DEXA scan on the 17th. I can't allow myself to continue to do that. But if I was to just let that slip and say, it's been 3 days, God, it's been a while since I've had 3 days of slipper. Man, am I just not the person I thought? As soon as you start thinking, as soon as you start associating your identity with those bad days, as soon as you start letting it impact who you are and what you do, instead of just treating it as what it is, an obstacle that you need to break through, that's when it turns into a bad week. That's when you lose the progress. That's when a month from now, you've gone from a six-pack shredded to feeling flabby and fat and lethargic, and your diet's crap and your skin's breaking out and everything's just going downhill, all because you let a bad day or 2 bad days or even 3 bad days turn into a bad week. I truly believe once you get past like the 5-day mark, but for some people it's less, but for me anyway, like once you get past that, it just snowballs and shit just rapidly gets worse, at least when it comes to fat loss, and especially just anything really. When you let the ball slip on a routine or something that you've been building up for so long, and you let it slip because you had a day where you forgot it, you didn't let it slip because you aren't capable of continuing to do that thing. You let it slip because you allowed your identity to be fractured by it, instead of just accepting it as a necessary bug on the windshield and wiping it off and continuing on. The windshield being you, like, you know, you have to have that resilience. You really do. Because, yeah, you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. I still have bad days, but the thing is, I have way, way, way more good days than I do bad. Whereas before it was the inverted, it was the opposite. So, I mean, to even break out, and I mean, you guys have probably seen like the high frequency vibrational chart thing where it's like the green is like positivity, positivity, loyalty, resilience. I don't even remember exactly what they are, but there's like a frequency chart, and they got the bottom ones which are like negativity, depression, all this kind of stuff at the bottom, and then as you get more towards the top, it's more like neutrality, and then it goes up. Yeah, these are the frequency that you want to aim for, obviously, to be at the top. And if you let bad days get in the way of that, you're always going to stay at the bottom or the middle of that chart. And really, the good stuff happens when you're at the top of the chart. If you Google, by the way, I'm pretty sure you can find this chart. But yeah, like, man, I'll level with you guys even now to end the video. Like, we're going to talk about good days and bad days. Objectively, I'm broke. I don't have a job. I don't have anything lined up. I owe people money now because I've had to borrow some money to ensure I can still pay things off. And I know that I'm going to pay these people back. That's going to be my first objective when I get the money. But objectively, financial-wise, I'm in a terrible spot. But I'm still keeping up my daily disciplines with my body. I'm still looking after myself. My relationships are still strong. Like, people haven't minded giving me the money because they know I'm not normally the person to do this kind of stuff. But I believe in myself this much that I'm willing to put myself in these uncomfortable situations of asking for a hand in terms of getting some money off people to keep myself afloat, because I do believe that I'm going to make a lot more money quite soon, and I'm going to be able to pay this off fairly quickly. But if I didn't have that belief, I wouldn't do it. And if I wasn't the kind of person that knows that I'm going to pay people back as soon as I can, as soon as I have the ability to, then I wouldn't have done it either. But it's still uncomfortable regardless to ask for that. Do you know what I mean? Even though, you know, I had people essentially offering it to me too. It's still hard to accept it. And yeah, I could look at this and go, oh, fuck, this is going to break. You know what? I should just go back to my 9-to-5. But no, fuck that. I'm not going to let it break me. I will get a credit card out and pay everyone back with that, and then just deal with the debt myself and deal with the debt with the bank companies if it got down to that. I would make sure everyone's good first in that regard, everyone that helped me, and then it's on my own to figure it out, because I fucking believe that I can. I don't care. Whatever happens, happens, right? And it might end badly. I don't know. Maybe my girlfriend might leave me if shit doesn't work out in the next few months, if I don't make something happen. But I'm in this position now, like, man, like, it's either I would have been in this position or I would have been, oh yeah, I'm comfortable making some money, but I'm still doing all the shit I used to hate. Like, I've stopped in the past month. I've stopped the tobacco. I've pretty much stopped the porn. I've still had some slip ups, but compared to where I was, it's way, 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 way less. My spirit feels way clearer. Um, I'm way more focused on the things I know I need to be focused on. But none of that would have been possible if I would have just stayed in that complacent, comfortable, constant stream of money, but hating the job environment and feeling like my body was rigid. All these vices. Like, my goal is to even completely obliterate the porn from my life, and get to the point where I am essentially vice free. The only thing I do right now is still marijuana, but that's like, it's never hindered me in that kind of way. It's never made me more lazy or unproductive, but I still do feel like I could be doing it a bit less. But even still, everything else is, compared to where I was even a couple months ago, it's all coming together. But it's not fucking easy, and I've put myself in this position, and it's up to me to get myself out of it. But if I look at the last 2 weeks, I've had more good days than bad days. Coming back to the title, like, even with all this going on, even everything I've explained to you, I've had way more meaningful conversations with my girlfriend. I feel like we understand each other more now than we ever did. She understands me more. She has way more respect for me. Like, sex life has gone great. Not to get in a TMI, but like, just everything has improved there. So, and in terms of like how I feel inside, my cortisol, like all that, I feel so much freer. I feel so much lighter, you know? And physically, I'm in the best shape I've been. So everything, apart from money, is great. And now I'm in the great position to make even more. So I'm not fucking worried. But guys, you can't get to this stage if you haven't even done the body stuff yet. Like, you know, that's why I see so many people let their good days and bad days define them, and usually those are the people that just every day is a bad day except the weekends they get off, and those are the good days. It's like, but they're not good because you don't do anything. You don't spend it making videos like this or getting your thoughts out, or at least working on your body, trying to develop some skills, like constantly just trying to forge yourself through the fire instead of just trying to survive. I'm not about that. I don't care how fucking long it takes me. I mean, I'll be 31 in like 3 weeks. I don't care how long it takes me, brother. I'm here for the long run. Fucking bring it on. And the good days are going to come, the bad days are going to come, but as long as you just remember that it doesn't shape your identity, and obviously perception is reality and all those good things, but the main point to remember is that your good days and your bad days will all both have good and bad moments in them. So it's really about how you choose to look at things and the lens you look at it through. And if you choose to use your bad days as fuel, you'll slowly start to realize that your bad days start to slowly fade away and you have way more good days than bad days. And it's not that those bad days aren't any less severe in terms of the events that happen. In fact, usually they're more. The difference is the person you have developed yourself into is way more capable and able to deal with that as a result of you having this attitude towards hardship and struggle. Because what else would you rather be fucking doing? Like, I mean, you can work a 9-to-5 job, have a comfortable savings, have a family, all this kind of good stuff, but internally feel like you're not who you want to be, have a shit diet, have all these health problems, have things that you want to pursue but can't because you feel bogged down by the wife and family you now decided was what everyone else wanted for you, so that's what you wanted. Look, if you're a person who wants to have a wife and kids, sure. But there are plenty of people that just jump to that because they think it's what everybody else wants or whatever. And it's like, even to the point of working jobs they don't like because they think it's what somebody else likes, going to university, So yeah, you can do this, you can have this life, you can spend your time doing that, and you'll be comfortable, and you won't ever have to be in a position that I've been in multiple times now where you're like, how am I going to be able to pay the rent? What am I going to do? Where am I going to live? Oh, am I not going to be seeing this person anymore? Oh, this is a new change. Like, if you don't want to have any of those changes in your life, you'll live the same fucking life. And eventually, when you get to the end of it, you'll probably feel like, I wish I did more. And cool, if you're happy to have that other comfortable stuff, that's fine. Like, honestly, no, I don't hate on you for that. But me personally, I can't fucking do that. That just, I would rather be broke and struggling but find experiences and purpose and grow my character than stick to a rigid path where I feel controlled by a person who's handing me my wages every week and also telling me you have to be here to here every day for the next 5 days out of the week for the next year. You're on contract, but look, you get 2 days, 2 weeks or 4 weeks at least here in Australia paid holidays. You can spend that going and having fun with whoever, but then when you come back, you're ours again, and there'll always be, while you're on holiday, that lingering thought in the back of your mind, oh, it's 2 weeks now. It's like I always used to have that thought when I used to go to school, man. Didn't we get out of fucking school thinking it'll be different, and then you just have that same feeling, but it's replaced with fucking work? What a joke. I don't want to live that way, and I've refused to, and I'm not fucking doing it anymore. So bring on whatever comes. I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to get through it, and I'm going to make sure that you'll see me on here in another year and I'll be in a much better position. I don't know where. Maybe it won't be financially much better, but mentally I would have grown. Experience-wise, I would have grown. And that's all you can really ask for. That's the things we really want in life at the end of the day anyway. They never talk about money and shit on the deathbed. It's experiences, it's growth. It's time spent with loved ones. And you can't spend that much time when you're all working 9 to 5s and fucking, like I said, I know people have got to survive, but everyone put themselves in the situations they put themselves in order to survive too. If you've had kids, no one forced you to have them. So don't come on my comments saying, oh, well, you're young. Also, I'm 31. I'm not in my fucking 20s, so don't give me that shit either. I've been around the block. But yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. That's the fucking ramble done. Oh, shit. That's the ramble done. You'll catch me on the next one. Peace out. Oh.